Hello everyone, welcome to the official start of the 2021 season. The very first exam of the 2021 season has kick-started. We just had NMAT 2021 which started, I'm saying 2021 as if we didn't know that's the year. But yeah, so it just started 2 days back on the 14th of October. Today we are here on the 16th of October. Luckily for you all and for us actually, 3 of us have actually already gone ahead and taken the exam. Your staff faculty, Mr. Pranav Pant, Mr. Vikas Dahiya, they've gone ahead and taken it on the very first day. They took it at the center. And then just to mix it up, I took it from home yesterday on the 15th. So, we've basically got a very good, understanding of what the pattern is. We've got a very good understanding of what is the difference between taking it at the center and taking it at home. Whether there is any difference or not, we've got a very good understanding of what is it that, NMAT is actually asking. Whether it's slightly more heavy on the verbal, logic segment, or it is slightly more heavy on the analytical reasoning segment. In quant, what are the topics that they are kind of focusing on? How many questions expected from DI? What kind of sets are coming up in DI? In quant, once again, whether geometry is important or not, like we saw last year, not a lot of questions. Similarly, in verbal, how many RCs have come up? What are the genres that they are focusing on? Is grammar still very important? Are there a lot of questions in vocabulary? All of that and much more that we'll go ahead and decode in today's session. And in addition to that, I know many of y'all are actually waiting for this session, and I know we had the 60 days to catch session and I had gone ahead and stated that we'll do the NMAT analysis. So do ensure that you're taking your NMAT exam probably towards the latter half of October or probably even towards the beginning of November. So all of y'all have at least about 2 weeks in hand. So about 14-15 days, maybe even longer. So then we'll also get into, what is that strategy? What should we go ahead and do over the course of the next 14-15 days in order to ensure that we are able to go ahead and ace this particular exam? So that's all, and much more in store. Having said that, let's officially get started. So as I stated, 3 things I'm going to talk about. Number 1, the NMAT exam flow. Now, very important from the context of everybody who's going ahead and taking this exam, specifically from home. Those who are taking it from home, the exam flow will have a lot that, you will need to keep in mind. Second, the NMAT analysis, once again, very important in terms of, what is it that the exam has actually thrown up this year. And finally, the last part, which is the NMAT 15-day strategy. So as promised, 3 things that we are going to go ahead and look at. Okay, let's officially get started. Let's have a look at, what are some of the must-haves from the perspective of taking it at home and taking it at the center. Okay, so let's look at it. I'm going to go ahead, get my ink in place. Yep. So taking it at home, what are the few things to keep in mind? Point number 1, the NMAT admit card. Original proof, the primary ID proof. Secondary ID proof, very important. And if you see, these are basically exactly the same whether you're taking it at the center or you're going ahead and taking it, at home. Confirmation email printout, once again, same. And the photocopy of your primary ID proof, this is only required when it comes to taking the exam at the center. You don't require a photocopy if you're taking it at home, so please keep in mind. However, all of y'all who are going ahead and taking the exam at home, you all need to keep in mind some 3-4 additional things that you need to keep with you. Why? Because there is something that they will go ahead and ask, especially the proctor. Point number 1, you will need a white paper with your signature. Now that signature has to be with a pen. Even though they don't allow you a pen in the exam, you have to use a pencil, but that signature has to be with a pen, either a blue or a black pen. Okay, so please keep that in mind. A white paper with signature. Other than that, 1 wooden pencil, and they actually check whether it's wooden or not. I don't know the logic behind it, but yes, they do go ahead and they have a look at whether it's a wooden pencil or not. After that, 2 scraps of paper for rough work. Hey Vicky, how are you? I hope many of you all have come ahead and joined in, and we're just about talking, getting deeper into the must-haves, some of the documents that you need to keep with you in order to ensure that, you don't have a problem with the proctor, specifically for those of you taking it at home. Now, I took it at home, so I'll be able to share some of the important things that they look at. 2 scrap papers for rough work, and trust me, they will ask you to take the paper up, down, reverse it, look every side and ensure there's nothing written on that piece of paper. So it's a very important thing. Do ensure it's an A4 sheet that you have with you. Clear the desk area. They actually got me to pick up the laptop like last year, under the table, go into the kitchen, nobody is there, out into the veranda, nobody behind the curtains. All of that was happening. They have to do it. It seems a little nonsensical to us when we are writing it as students, but it's a very logical thing that they have to do in order to ensure that there is no cheating or there is no unethical practices that are at play here. And finally, no other electronic gadget in the room. That's a very, very important thing. If you have a television in the room, ensure it's unplugged, put a towel on top of it. If you have a phone in the room, ensure you've taken it out from the socket, put a towel on it. These are some of the things that they'll categorically focus on. Okay, so please keep all of this in mind when it comes to taking the NMAT exam from your home, because it's a very, very important thing, okay, to look at. Okay. Now let's look at what the exam flow is, and there are 5-7 things that you need to keep in mind here. Point number 1, Exami Snap. Okay, now Exami Snap basically talks about whether you've uploaded your picture and signature or not. This is something you have to do at the time of applying for NMAT. Ensure you've done it properly. It might create problems if your signature does not match on that day. So do ensure that you look at the preview as well. Exami Show, click on begin schedule test. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Examino showing of documents to the proctor. We'll talk about that as well. Answer to your security question. Now this is very, very important, and I'll get there. User agreement, once again, simple thing. And finally, you go ahead and begin the test. So these are, some 5-6 steps to keep in mind. It will take about 15-20 minutes for the proctor to check everything. And after that, there is a non-disclosure disclosure agreement, and then there is a tutorial for about 8 minutes as well. So 2 minutes for the non-disclosure, 8 minutes for the tutorial, that's 10 minutes. 15-20 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 30 minutes. That means before the exam, there'll be something or the other that you'll be doing for 30 minutes. Now, if you ask me, that's brilliant. In CAT, you have to reach the center, you go, you sit at your desk, you're sitting there for 35-40 minutes doing nothing. All thoughts in your mind, oh my God, last attempt, what is going to happen to me? What will happen if this doesn't happen? Where is the window from which I will jump if things don't happen? No. All of that nonsense out of the picture, okay? You don't have to worry about all of that, because there is something or the other that you're categorically doing in 30 minutes, preceding the exam. So it's a very, very good time. Also read all the instruction, read the non-disclosure, read the 8-minute tutorial. Why? Because it gets you into the flow of reading stuff. So by the time you go ahead and kickstart that first section, especially if it's verbal, you are already into the flow of reading. So you won't suddenly be taken aback, oh my God, 3 RCs coming up, long stuff to read and so on and so forth. These are intangible things to keep in mind. So please keep that in focus. Okay, Exami Show. What are the things? Choose the exam mode. Now, we've gone ahead and we've discussed this before as well, that you need to look at, you need to go ahead and choose the correct mode of the exam when you are going ahead and applying for the paper itself. So 2 things to do: photograph, signature uploaded. Second, whether you are taking the exam from the center or whether you are taking it at home, and you won't be able to change it later. So please keep that in mind. Scheduling the exam. Now this is very, very important for all of you all who are looking at taking it from home. Okay, just look at the dates that are available from home. 15th October to 19th October. So I took it yesterday from home because that was the very first day. Otherwise, and we wanted to give you an analysis where we'd gone ahead and spoken about both taking it at the center and taking it at home. So hence I had to take it yesterday. 25th October to 29th October is the second window. 8th November to 12th November. 30th November to 4th December, and finally 6th December to 10th December. So do keep in mind that these are the windows with you. There are 6 windows, that's it. The exam continues all the way up till 27 December, but take from home only till 10 December they've opened. Now some of you might be thinking, is there a possibility that more windows will be opened? There is a possibility that more windows open, but from home, maybe no. At the center, surely. So some of you all might be already be looking at, for a date around 15th of December, 20th December, 22nd December. Now we don't know. Okay, so don't, put all your eggs in one basket thinking, yes, guaranteed the window will open, khulega hi, ho jayega sab. We don't know. Don't take a risk. Okay, and do keep in mind this time for NMIMS Mumbai, it's only the first attempt that is being considered. The other 2 attempts cannot be considered for NMIMS Mumbai. So please keep that in mind. Okay. Okay. Next part, the system requirements. Once again, very, very important for all of you all taking it from home. And in this part is the most important, which means secure browser. Before you go ahead and decide you want to take the exam from home, please go ahead, download this secure browser. There is a pop-up that comes, download it, see whether that browser opens on your laptop, see whether you are able to do basic activities. Only if you are able to do that, should you go ahead and choose this option of taking it from home. Because if this secure browser does not work on your laptop, it will not work on the day of the exam as well. You will face a lot of issues. So please keep that in mind as well, okay? Secure browser becomes the most important thing to keep in mind. Second, minimum internet speed of 1.5 Mbps. I'm sure with Jio coming into being, life is easy for all of us. 1.5 Mbps guaranteed होगा ही. In case it's not there, don't worry too much, okay? Just don't go ahead and take it at home, okay? Then take it at the center. That's the only thing to worry about, but good that you check it beforehand. Hence, these, basic system requirements need to be looked at. Windows 10, Google Chrome and all of that. Please keep all of that in mind, okay? Cool. NMAT examination flow. What's the next part? The exami key, once again, a very, very important part, especially for all of you all taking it from home. Security question. Now, I had stated this last year as well. I'd faced this issue. When they asked me the security question, I forgot the answer to my security question. So, luckily in my third try, I got it right. This year, I did remember my answer to the security question. So, first try was good enough. But please ensure there are 3 security questions that you would have put there. Please ensure you remember the answers, because without that, they won't let you continue, okay? So please keep that in mind as well. Finally, the user agreement, as we went ahead and we spoke, there are certain rules that you need to follow, rules and regulations. Just go ahead and accept that. It's as simple as that. I don't want to spend too much time here. I want to get cracking into the segment which is most important, getting into the interface and then talking about the analysis. Now, some very, very important pointers regarding the NMAT interface. Now, this interface is very different from most of the other exams that you will write this year. So let's see, why do I state that? Number one, this is the only exam which allows you right at the beginning of the paper to decide the sequence in which you want to attempt the paper. Now, I have one entire section devoted to this later on in your 15-day strategy, but I'll just give you a sneak preview into that. Basically, what I always recommend is, what you should go ahead and do is start and play to your strengths. That's it, okay? So Shobik is asking, security question for home test. Yes, for take at home, when you go ahead and apply, there'll be an opportunity to pick up 3 security questions and give their answers. Remember those answers, because when you take it at home, that security question will be the first thing which will allow you access into the system, okay? Keep that in mind, Shobik. Okay, coming back to what I was stating. So there are 3 sections. This is a simple quant, permutation combination question. 3 sections. What are the different combinations possible? 3 factorial, right? 3 factorial means 6. So out of those 6 possible combinations, which one do you choose? And as I always state, I stated this in the 60 days to catch segment as well, play to your strengths. Go ahead and ensure that the segment or the section in which you are good, you become exceptional. You become an absolute stud. Sections in which you aren't good, just do enough to ensure you clear the cutoff. Where you are good, you'll be able to spend more time, you will like it, you will enjoy it, you won't have a problem putting in 10 hours, 12 hours a day, so don't worry. Navdeep, sir, will you reveal your score? Kya karoge jaake? I'll just tell you it was a decent score and I'll give you a benchmark. It was 255 plus. Now that could mean 280, that could mean 256, that could mean 290. I will not tell you that. 255 plus, so decent enough score for you to believe what I'm stating. So what I'm stating is not going to be nonsense. I've done decently well. I would have surely cleared all the cutoffs. Last year was 235, so should be around the 99 percentile mark for sure, if not more. So yeah, so just so that if this gives you a little bit of confidence that yes, ये बंदा जो बोल रहा है ये मुझे सुनना चाहिए, oh yes, what this man is talking I should hear. Well, yes, you should probably hear, because I was able to get a decent score. Okay, I wouldn't say too exceptional or something. Also, we try to make it a point that we don't go ahead and attempt a lot. So we do go ahead and play around with certain things to ensure we don't take away somebody's seat. So all of us faculty always try doing that. So don't worry about that part. Okay. So let's come back to where I was. Okay. Security question will be asked in the center also. In the center, not as far as I know, but still, I will go ahead and categorically state if there is a security question that while filling the form and while going ahead and picking up your slot, you went ahead and you answered, okay, if there is a security question that you filled in, then categorically go ahead and remember the answer to it. Pranav is asking, video will be on. Pranav, what do you think? It states NMAT 2021 detailed live exam analysis. What do you think the window will be on, or the video will be on? We'll categorically go ahead and talk about the NMAT 2021 paper, okay, Jani? Sir, security question required for exam center. Jani, I just answered that. So I hope, that will go ahead and ease you into it as well. Okay. Okay. So Navdeep is asking, I'm scoring 235 to 215 official marks. My attempt is on 23rd October. Do you think I should reschedule? Navdeep, can you wait for that? Let me get into the part 3 of my analysis. First, let's talk about the analysis of the paper. Then part 3 of the segment where I'll talk about the 15-day strategy. Basis what I state, ask me this question again towards the end, whether you feel confident enough or not. Okay. Cool. So ask me this question in say about 30 minutes again. Cool, Navdeep? Let's get back to where I was, picking your sequence. So my recommendation, start with your area of strength. Okay, and I'll talk about this later as we go in. Okay, how to find answer now, sir? How to find answer of what? How to find answer of what? What is the question? Okay, next thing, no question palette. So in the CAT exam, in IFT, in XAT, everywhere, you're on question 1. In that particular section, say there are 26 questions, you can go from 1 to 26, you can go from 1 to 23, you can go from 1 to 5, you can do anything. You can keep moving between the section, right? Here it's not allowed. If you are on question 1, till you do not answer question 1, they will not allow you to go to question 2. You can't see any other question in that section. So every question has to be answered. Also, there is no negative marking. So there is no reason to not answer the questions as well. So please keep this in mind. You need to go ahead and answer a question before you can move to the next question. This is very, very different from all other exams. So please keep that in mind. Scroll the entire question or passage before going to the next question. Irritating. It's the most irritating thing about this paper. What? Imagine you have this long RCU, 350 words, okay? In first fold, 250 words are visible. Now you can see the question right next to it and you know the answer is from the first paragraph. Within the first 50 words. They will still not let you answer because they'll be like, "Niche nahi scroll kiya bhaiya. You've not gone down." So you need to go down, go up, go down, go up. You need to keep scrolling. You need to look at the entire passage before you go ahead and answer. So please keep that in mind, okay? So Madhav is saying, "Sir, how to find out the answer to my security question?" Easy. Go on to your, the NMAT portal, log in. In the login part, wherever you've gone ahead and scheduled, you'll be able to see all that you went ahead and you wrote. Whether your system was fine or not, what were your security questions, what were the answers and all of that, okay? So that's where you can see it. Okay, coming back. So you need to scroll all the questions, you need to scroll the passage before you can go ahead and answer. So up, down, do it beforehand, okay? The moment you come to that particular question, down, up, done. And then answer. Okay, last part. Going back to the previous, now if I've already stated that there is no question palette, which means going forward not allowed, obviously going back also not allowed. If you're on question 5, say, I'm solving an LR set, okay, an analytical reasoning set has come up, and say you solved and you marked one, the first question you marked the answer. By the time you reach the second question, you realize, oh my God, I made an error. You change it quickly, now everything is right. Now you can't go back to rectify the answer to the first question. That's lost. Those 3 marks are gone. The +3 is down to 0. So don't worry about that. It's gone, it's sunk cost. Ensure that the remaining 3 questions you answered and you go ahead and you handle it, okay? So please keep that in mind, okay? So ensure that that is done, okay? Okay, now let's get into the NMAT analysis. Some of you all are asking, about when to schedule. Just hold on to that. Let's pick that up post the analysis segment. I'll go ahead and I'll tell you when you can go ahead and schedule. Some of you all are also saying, it's also very expensive. I do agree. This is perhaps the most expensive, exam, because you apply for the exam separately. You apply to NM separately. If you get a call, you will apply for your CDPI process. That means case discussion, personal interview process. Not only is there a possibility that they will tell you to come down to Bombay, hopefully COVID, we would have handled it by the time, February, March comes and, you'll be able to travel. So not only will they tell you spend on the flight, spend on the train to come down to Bombay, they will also tell you, you want to be interviewed by us, pay me money. So there will be multiple steps along the way where you need to pay, but I will constantly state, this is about the context of do not put all your eggs in one bucket. Generally it's one of those exams which you would like to go ahead and take, okay? So please keep that in mind that, if you feel that, I'm already good, I can avoid NM. NM is anyways not the place that I like to, or that I would like to go. If you feel you want to take that punt, over to you. Generally, I don't advise that. I always state, ensure that you write all exams. Eventually, you decide. My funda is very, very simple. You know what that funda is? 7-8 exams, write all. Hopefully get calls from 20-30 B schools, go for all interviews. Hopefully you will convert at least 70-80% if not 100%. Now imagine if you've converted 10-15 calls, eventually you will go to one college, right? Then you will turn around and state, I rejected 14 colleges. Now do you know what an adrenaline rush it is to turn around and state, I rejected IIM Lucknow, I rejected NMIMS, I rejected SIBM Pune, I rejected IIM Ahmedabad. Yes, people do it, yours truly did it. So it does happen. So I rejected is what you want. come April, May, you want to be in a situation turning around and stating, I don't care about what the colleges did. Eventually, I decided which college to go to and I rejected X number of colleges. That's what you want. That's what we are aiming for. We aren't aiming for one convert. We are aiming for as many converts as possible so that when we start our B school life, when we start our MBA life, we go ahead and do a very, very simple thing. And what is that simple thing? We go ahead and we talk about, yes, we are absolute studs. There is a lot of confidence. So we go ahead with a lot of positivity. Okay, cool, clear? I hope everything's audible. I hope everything's fine. I hope you can see everything. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get into the NMAT analysis. Okay. Let's get into the NMAT analysis. Okay. What do we have in store? Overall, this is what the paper was. Okay. Overall, the NMAT analysis, this is what the paper was. Language skills, 36 questions, 28 minutes. Logical reasoning, 36 questions, 40 minutes. Quantitative skills, 36 questions, 52 minutes. So 120 minutes, 108 questions. We all know this. It's exactly the same as what was expected earlier. 36 minutes per section. Timing slightly varied. As you can see, you have less than a minute per question here in language skills. In logical reasoning, you got slightly more than a minute, and in quantitative skills, you got a lot of time. Let's look at the LOD. Now, if you see, whether it is the center based on the 14th of October or whether it is home proctor that I took on the 15th of October, we are stating the LOD is more or less exactly the same. Easy to moderate in both language skills and quantitative skills, and moderate in logical reasoning. Overall, easy to moderate kind of a paper, which means it's very, very synonymous and very, very similar to what we had last year. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Okay. Now, let's get deeper into the analysis. Let's kickstart with quantitative skills. Okay, let's start with quant. Let's look at what the paper threw up. This is the breakup, okay, and I'll get deeper. In algebra, which questions, in arithmetic, which topics, all of that I'll get to, but this is the overview. Let's look at it. Algebra, this year 5 questions, compare it to the previous year 2, compare it to the year before that 0. So suddenly the weightage of algebra has improved. And if you remember my 60 days to CAT section or session, I had gone ahead and stated arithmetic plus algebra will help you sail through. Look at arithmetic plus algebra 12. Once again, DI 12, 24 out of 36, 2/3 of the paper, arithmetic plus algebra. And if I look at only quant, arithmetic plus algebra is about 50% of the paper. So once again, arithmetic plus algebra continues to be the most important, segment in quantitative aptitude. Please keep that in mind, okay? Please keep that in mind. Level of difficulty, as you see, easy to moderate. Data sufficiency, once again, easy to moderate, about 4 questions. Number system, 2 questions, and perhaps one of the only exams where modern math will have so many questions. 6 questions on modern math. Now, what all does modern math include? Well, it includes permutation combination, it includes probability and set theory. And guess what? From each of these, permutation combination, probability and set theory, there were 2 questions each. So that's why, this particular segment of modern math turns out to be very, very important. Please keep that in mind. Let's look at the breakup. Okay, now let's look at the breakup. Let's look at what we have in store. Algebra. Look at the very first question, binomial equations. Not binomial equations, this should be binomial expansion. So there was a question on binomial expansion. There was a question on higher order equations. I remember it, roughly. What is the highest power of x to the power of 19 in x minus 1 into x minus 2 into x minus 3, so on and so forth till x minus 20. Something like that, okay. I'm not saying this is the exact question, but something along these lines, okay. X minus a into x minus b into x minus c till x minus whatever, z, and what will be the highest power x to the power of 19, something like that, okay. So that was a question there in higher order equations, not too difficult. The log question, again, very, very simple. Log a plus log b is equal to log ab. That was the context and that was the concept that you were being questioned on. Quadratic equation, sum of roots and product of roots was the question that you were questioned on. So these were the 4 or 5 questions that came in algebra. There was another in quadratic equation, I don't remember categorically. Compound interest was easy. There was a particular amount of money that you were putting in compound interest, some amount here, some amount there, and eventually the compound interest in 3 years is equal to the compound interest in 5 years. So what was the amount that you put under compound interest for 3 years when you have the total amount with you? That was the question. So absolute basics of compound interest, no rocket science there. Percentages question were very, very easy. This is the total amount of money that people have. So it was percentages and ratios interlinked. a couple of questions there. Profit and loss, once again, very, very easy. The concept was marked price, selling price and cost price, and the relationship between all three of them. That is what was tested. Time and work, once again, easy. 3 people. So A and B together take so much time, B and C together take so much time, then A alone works for so many days, B alone works for so many days, C alone works for so many days and finishes the job. So what is the ratio in which A, B and C alone can finish the work? So that was basically the question that came in time and work. Okay. Data interpretation was very, very interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting question. Let's see what was there. Number of floors, halls and cubicles. Okay. Number of floors, halls and cubicles. I'll tell you what the question was. There's a building. Now every building has so many floors. Each floor has so many halls. Each hall has so many people sitting in a cubicle. Number of cubicles in each hall wasn't given in the table. And all the questions were basically around the ratio of the number of cubicles in each hall. That's it. Nothing else. That's predominantly all that was being questioned. So the entire table was about total number of people, has been given to you. Now after total number of people, you also need, you also know the number of floors. You also know the number of halls. You also know the number of people in each cubicle. All that you needed to know was number of cubicles, which means total number divided by product of the other three. Okay, as simple as that. That was the question. Bar chart, price of 3 commodities. Once again, not very difficult. Here what they'd gone ahead and stated, they gave you over a period of 5-6 years the price of commodity A, price of commodity B and the average price of commodity C for every year. So, it was something like this, year 2, 3, something like this, and say this is 2015, this is 2016 and so on and so forth. So, in the first set of graphs, what do you have? This is price of commodity A, this is B, this is average of A, B and C. So because average of A, B and C is there and A and B are there, you can find out C. And all the questions over the years were about C. How much does it increase, how much does it decrease and so on and so forth. Very simple, straightforward concept of averages. Okay. Third one, price of salt and sugar given over 5 years. So once again, what they had done was they had given us the price of salt in a particular year, price of sugar in a particular year, and the questions were on averages, the questions were on difference of the prices and all. These 12 questions were an absolute cakewalk. Absolute cakewalk. But the problem for me specifically, the DI came right towards the end. So by the time DI came, there were only 12 questions left. So the remaining 24 questions were done. Now, if those 24 questions you would have already taken, say about 2 minutes per question, 48 minutes gone, you had only 4 minutes for the 3 DI sets. So do not do that. Ensure that you have enough time for the DI sets. Even Pranav and Vikas said the same thing. DI was doable. At least 2 sets were absolutely straightforward. So do ensure that for the 3 DI sets combined, keep at least 12 to 15 minutes in hand, which means if you see that back-to-back quant is coming, you need to pick up your pace and you need to realize that those 24 questions you will need to answer in probably a matter of 36 to 37 minutes. So if you can do it, take 1.5 minutes per question in quant, that's 24 into 1.5, that's 36 minutes. And then for the remaining 12 questions, you'll have 16 minutes in DI. That should generally suffice to do your complete DI, okay? Moving on to data sufficiency, once again, very easy. There was, I remember there was 1 or 2 questions based on number-based data sufficiency. It was something like A is equal to B% of C, B is equal to C% of A. Which of these are required to find the value of A and B? Find the relationship of A and B, sorry. That was it. Only statement 1, only statement 2, both of them combined, neither of them combined, something like that, okay? Algebra, data sufficiency, one question on algebra and one of arithmetic as well. So overall, if I look at it, DS not too difficult, easy to do once again. Number system, there was one direct question. I think it was as simple as what is the unit digit of 2 to the power of 564? As simple as that. 2 to the power of 564. So it is 2 to the power of 4k, you know what the unit digit will be. I don't need to get into that. Then there was a question on HCF, 2 numbers who have their HCF as 5 and their sum is equal to 80. So how many such pairs are possible? So which means A plus B is equal to 18 where A and B are co-prime. So just find the number of pairs, as simple as that, okay? So not a difficult question, easy question once again. Modern math, PNC and probability, one probability was straightforward, second probability was Bayes theorem. Permutation combination, one was very, very easy, second was lengthy. It had a lot of calculations in store. Options will help you. in some of the cases the options were very, very, you know, stupid options. You can see, you can expect the answer will be somewhere around 1200, 1300. One option is 500, one option is 5000, one option is 7000, only one option around 2000, 3000. So look at the options, eliminate, mark the answer and move on. That's predominantly the breakup of quant. Any questions, please feel free to ask before I move to the next segment. I'll give you all about 10 seconds. I see a few questions. Anything specifically on quant that you would like to know? Guys. Anything on quant? Or we are good? Okay, looks like we are good. Anything you have, just feel free, go ahead and put it onto the chat box and I'll pick it up as I keep moving forward. Let's move on to the next segment or the next section, which is language skills, verbal. Once again, very, very important. So what do we have in verbal? Let's have a look at it. Okay, 2021 paper. So what was the breakup? RC 12 questions. Now you see a moderate. Why am I saying moderate? One RC, very, very easy. Second RC, not easy to read, but easy questions. Third RC, difficult. Okay, so there were 3 RCs, predominantly both, you know, all 3 of us who've gone ahead and taken it, we had the same question. So, you know, overall, that is the breakup of the RCs. Now, my one recommendation is, this is a time game. You know, language skills is a time game. 36 questions in a matter of 28 minutes, about 0.8 minutes, you know, per question. That's about 45 to 48 seconds per question, not a lot, right? Do not spend a lot of time on RCs. Now, in general, I don't think all 3 RCs you will be able to give a serious attempt, but you should be able to give a serious attempt to at least 2. And third one, at least you should be able to give yourself 2-3 minutes to answer 1 or 2 questions. Look at the question, search in the passage, just scan through and you'll get a couple of answers. There were a lot of direct questions. There were just 1 or 2 questions on the author's tone or the theme of the passage or the central idea. Other than that, almost everything was a direct question, but given in an inverse way. Which of the following has the author not stated in the passage? 5 options. So 4 of them he has stated, 50 hasn't. That means you need to read all of them. And that's where it takes a little bit of time, okay? That's about it. That was the only issue with RC. Generally, my recommendation, 2 RCs serious attempt, 1 RC just keep it up as a backup. Guessing does work, okay? So if some of you all want to know what I guessed, I was able to complete almost the entire paper other than LR. LR mein, you know, I think I had about 3 questions to go with 10 seconds to go or something, and I did guess. I guess C. I guess C. You know, C, I am Cal, yeah, C, always, C is what I always go ahead with, so I went ahead and C, okay. I've already stated that, Janvi, most of the questions factual, very few which were inferential, couple of questions on tone and a couple of central idea. Other than that, predominantly factual. How much time to read the RC? Now, couple of RCs were lengthy, okay. I think one RC was close to about 400, 450 words. Another RC was close to about, you know, 350 words. And the last RC was 250 words. Okay, that's about it. Couple of people asking questions on geometry. You know what happened? Geometry. No question. 0 questions on geometry. And 0 questions on geometry across almost both slots. That means day 1 and day 2. So there is almost nothing that is being asked on geometry. So all of y'all who are scared of geometry, my God, I need to do geometry. Syllabus needs to get over. Chill. They're not even asking anything. Relax. Geometry doesn't even come in snap too much. Last year probably 1 or 2 questions. That also absolutely straightforward, chiller, simple. No geometry here. At max if they give also there might be 1 or 2 questions that might come. Nothing is coming. So don't worry too much, okay? All of you all who are thinking geometry aayega, ye hoga, wo hoga. Kuch nahi tha. 0 on geometry, 0 on trigonometry. Okay? How long did I take to read the passages? Well, out of the 28 minutes, I went ahead and I spent close to about, I think, 11 to 12 minutes or about 13 minutes on the RCs in total to answer 12 questions. So 1 minute per question for the RCs, reading and answering. So imagine if it's 4 minutes which I take in one particular RC, I would have read it for 2.5 to 3 minutes and answered it in a matter of a minute. Through memory, most of them, because they were factual. So that's predominantly the breakup, 12 to 13 minutes. You can stretch it to 15 because the remaining 20 to 24 questions, well, you will require close to about 12 to 13 minutes, about 30 seconds per question on an average. That's about that that's all that you will require. So out of 28 minutes, if you remove 12 to 13 minutes, you have about 14, 15. I took about 13. And in the end, you know, as I said, when it comes to verbal, which is language skills and quant, I had time remaining. In quant, I had about 3 minutes remaining. In language skills, I had about 2 minutes remaining. I did not have a lot of time remaining at the end of LR. That was it, okay? So one more question. Let's see, sir, since we have to mark answers to all questions, what if at the end we have time left and no questions left, as we cannot go back also? Then just chill. Think of it as a breather. Say, like I just told you, I had 3 minutes left in quant, and my order was I started with LR, moved to quant, then verbal. I had 3 minutes left after quant. I took 3 minutes to relax, meditate. Suddenly get all your flow back before you start, the time-bound verbal section. So I took those 3 minutes to chill, because there's nothing else that I can do. So rather than, jumping ahead, going to the next section, I just took time to chill, okay? Tips or tricks for analogies, I'll get into each of these type of questions in the next slide. You'll understand what needs to be done. Then parajumbles, 4 questions. Spot the error. Grammar. Only grammar. Very, very important. Absolutely easy. Mensuration, no questions. I've already stated this, guys. No question from mensuration, no question from geometry, nothing. Okay. Spot the error, very important. Grammar. Now grammar will be the key. Grammar will be the make or break of the language skill sections. All of you who feel grammar I'm a little weak, prepositions I'm not too great, double fill in the blanks I'm not too great, Wren & Martin. Next 15-20 days, just hit Wren & Martin. Just hit it like crazy. Pick it up, go through it, special focus on prepositions, because there will be at least, if not more, at least 3 to 4 questions on prepositions, in fill in the blanks as well. And also in spot the error, you will find errors related to preposition. Some of the errors that I found in, spot the errors, apostrophe, parent's son, this bag, this, he is his parent's son or something like that, parent son, so where does the apostrophe come? After S, before S, should there be an apostrophe, yes or no? Apostrophe was the place. In another place, they'd used the wrong word. Instead of to, they'd used into. That was the error and stuff like that. So it was very, very visible and categorical. I didn't get any question where the answer was that the entire statement is error-free. I didn't get any error-free question. Every question I got had errors in it. Okay? Siddharth, what's your question? Since we have to mark, Siddharth, I've already answered your question. Siddharth, that at the end of it, if you have 2-3 minutes left and you want to go ahead and you feel you finished a section, you can't do anything, relax for those 3 minutes. You can't do anything. So relax in those 3 minutes, get your adrenaline back, ensure that by the time you start up the next session, you've chilled out for 2 minutes and you're ready to get cracking, because generally otherwise you people, everybody will get tired. I started feeling tired as well. So when I had 3 minutes after the quant session, it was a great rejuvenation for me. Okay, they don't even allow you to drink water, so be careful. Okay, cool. No synonym antonyms, no close test, and finally 5 in analogies. Now let's look at the breakup. What were the kind of questions that came? Let's have a look at it. Okay. This is the breakup. Now, I remember 2 RCs, I don't remember the third one. First was on robotics. Okay, there was something about robotics that, you want to go into outer space. What are the different ways of doing it? Anybody who's watched the movie The Martian? Matt Damon? Martian? Eventually in order to get him by, what do? They do a flyby, right? They do a flyby. There was one entire paragraph on flybys, and it was really, really interesting because I had already seen The Martian. So it was very easy to understand. There were 2 questions related to flyby in a jiffy. Actually was able to answer it almost through general knowledge because of the movie. So flyby was there, so that was it. Second, bacteria and how they survive. So there was this thing on a special new type of bacteria that has been discovered there for millions of years, and they've survived, God knows what all. So that gives us, an insight into, a new way of how human life and how life on the planet has survived over years. And, the author was very excited and stuff like that. So that was my second paragraph. This one, not easy to read, difficult to read. This one, slightly difficult questions, the second one. And the third one, easy to read, easy questions, not too much to worry about. Okay, I don't remember exactly what the third one was, but this was basically it. Okay, cool. Okay, coming back to parajumbles. 2 5-sentence parajumbles, 2 4-sentence parajumbles. Great part about it, elimination works. Okay, and how does it work? Just get your pair. Say CA is back to back. Out of 5 options, you'll be down to 1. Uske baad just find out aage piche. That's it. Front, back, that's it, and you'll get your answer. You don't need to worry too much. I obviously did find, surprisingly, I found the 5 question parajumbles or the 5 sentence parajumbles to be easier than the 4 ones. 4 sentence parajumbles were slightly more confusing according to me. I don't know why that happened, but it did happen. Okay. Spot the error, I've already spoken about. Spot the error, predominantly grammar. I've given you the types that came. Fill in the blanks, there were 2 types. One, fill in the blanks with 2 blanks. Those 2 blanks, either they were a grammar question, fill both of them with grammar, some sort of grammar, question, some form of that, or it was vocab, and the vocab was easy. Okay, it was a very, very simple vocab question. They stated, very simple words. You didn't even need to worry too much about what they were, words that you might have read probably in Enid Blyton in Famous 5 and Secret 7 and all. So nothing, too out of this world to worry about. Very, very simple questions. And fill in the blanks, prepositions, to, into, over, under, those kind of simple stuff. So once again, elimination worked. 5 options are there. You can easily eliminate and get the answer. Synonym, antonym, close test, nothing. Analogy. Now 5 questions in analogy. Predominantly, I got 2 questions where the relationship was that they were synonyms to each other. Okay, they were synonyms to each other. I got 1 question where they were antonyms to each other, and I got 2 questions where there was a relationship. The relationship was something like, poet and poem. Poet and poem. Poet writes a poem. So then among the options you needed to find out somebody who does something similar. So something like that. Artist creates art, something like that. Okay. So relationship had 2, synonym had 2, antonym had 1. So the analogies were easy. Other than 1 question in analogies, the antonym 1, all the other words, very, very simple words. You didn't even need to worry too much. You heard of it regularly. To, Vicky's asking about pages. Vicky's, I've already spoken about that pages were easy. You could eliminate. Just get CA, as those 2 sentences that come back to back. That's the order. Out of 5, you'll be able to eliminate 3 or left with just 2. In those 2, just look at CA ke baad, you'll get D or you'll get D before that. What is it? And you'll be able to eliminate basis that. So elimination really worked. It was easy. It wasn't difficult at all. Okay. So that is it predominantly in terms of language skills. Any question, please feel free to go ahead and ask. In RCs, how was the language difficulty? I've mentioned that as well, Anubhav, that one RC, the RC was slightly difficult to read, easy questions. Second RC, easy to read, slightly tricky questions. Third RC, easy to read and easy questions. I did give that breakup as well. So I hope that helped you. Okay, cool. Let's move to the third section, logical reasoning. Now this is where I feel the game will change this year. According to me, my personal take, and we've had a chat with Pranav, Vikas as well. So Pranav and Vikas felt quant was the easiest section. I felt language skills was the easiest section. But both of us kind of agreed that logical reasoning was perhaps not the easiest section. It was perhaps the difficult, amongst the 3 sections, it was perhaps the most difficult section. Okay. No theta questions. No theta questions in the entire paper. Okay. So all of you all who are worried, no theta. Okay. No non-MCQ, only MCQs. Okay. Let's come back here. This is where the game changer will come in. Now, logical reasoning, okay, logical reasoning is divided into 2 parts, analytical reasoning and verbal reasoning. Now, some of you who feel that you all are good at quant, analytical reasoning is where you will want to maximize because it's similar to quant. Some of you who feel you're good at verbal, okay, you will go ahead and, want to look at verbal reasoning. Okay, so before I get into that, couple of questions. Was the difficulty level similar to previous year? Yes. Number 2, vocab is not a main issue, right, sir, in language? No. So there were not a lot of questions oriented to vocab. As I stated, out of 36 questions, not more than 3-4 questions where you needed vocab knowledge and where you needed high level vocab knowledge. There were another 3-4 questions, especially in those double fill in the blanks, where you needed a little bit of vocab knowledge, but easy to eliminate and easy words. Okay, so I hope that should be it. Okay, coming back here. Let's start off with analytical reasoning, part 1. Last year 18 questions, year before that 24 out of 40, 2018 15 out of 40, this year 18 out of 36. Last year as well as this year, both years 18 out of 36. So 50% basically came from AR. Now the problem that I faced, okay, I had 4 questions in puzzles, Vikas and Pranav had 8 questions in puzzles, so they had 2 sets. So what do we mean by puzzles? We mean linear arrangement, matrix, grouping, sequences, your quintessential LR sets which you prepare for in CAT and other exams. I had just 1 of 4 questions, they had 2. The problem for me, this was the last question of my entire paper. So 36 questions, question number 33 to 36 is basically what puzzles was. And by the time I reached here, I had only 2.5 minutes remaining. So actually, my timing wasn't great. Why? Because I spent a lot of time in verbal reasoning this time, because verbal reasoning wasn't straightforward. So one way of doing it is verbal reasoning, take a few punts, take more punts than I did for sure. I did not take a lot of punts. I took my time because, you know, I had nothing to lose. I'm here to do an analysis. Anyways, I don't want to, you know, get a very, very high score or get high percentiles and all. We anyways try to ensure that one section or the other, we don't reach a place where, you know, we can go ahead and start getting calls. So we start doing that. So I didn't have anything to lose. You'll have a lot to lose, okay? So you do ensure that you go ahead and you look at, you know, verbal reasoning questions, which you might want to leave, and you might want to spend a little bit more time on analytical reasoning, okay? Input output, I had 2 sets, Vikas and Pranav had 1 set. Now the input output sets, in general, if somebody asks me how to prep for input output, my recommendation always is forget every other book. Just get the GMAC OG, the official guide for the NMAT by GMAC exam, which you can get while you apply for the paper itself. Get that, solve all the input output there. They generally start giving the same trends. They might not give the same set, but the same trends that come in the paper. Okay, same type. So that's the place where you should go ahead and you should focus on when it comes to input output. Okay, Siddharth, I've already answered the analogy question. You're asking the same question which I've already answered. Just go back and have a look at it. Okay, okay. So input output, as I discussed, you know, I had 2 sets. One of them was, you know, a mixture of alphanumeric, not alphanumeric, I should even say words and numbers. So there is a word, there's a number, there's a word, there's a number, word, number, word, number. So 8 such given, and the arrangement is I am trying to get all the words in the front and all the numbers at the back, and the order will be maximum number of letters in the words will be the first word, the biggest number will be the first number, second maximum number of letters in the word will be the second word, the second biggest number will be the second number, and so on and so forth. And it took multiple steps to get there. So that was one. Second one, I don't remember the order. As far as I remember, it was the maximum number, lowest number, maximum number, lower number. So biggest number, lowest number, second biggest number, second lowest number, third biggest number, third lowest number. That was the final arrangement that you need to get to through input output, through the various steps. My recommendation generally takes a lot of time. You know, you will not know whether there are 2 sets or whether there is 1 set. First set comes up, take your time, try solving it. If you're unable to, it seems it's taking a lot of time, guess everything, move on. If the second set comes, you know, spend your time on that. In general, there'll be 8, you know, I got 8 questions, they got 4 questions, but input output is one place where if there is just going to be 4 questions, it doesn't make much sense to spend more than 4 or 5 minutes to get those questions. And the problem with this is that overall, if I look at it, you know, when you look at the questions, the problem is that generally, you know, each question is a separate question on its own. So while there is a set of 4 questions, each question requires you to work on its own. That's the problem with input output. Generally don't spend too much time. Siddharth is asking for my overall score. Somebody asked me earlier as well. So as I told you, you know, I don't want to divulge too much. All I'll say it's 255 plus, whether that means 256, whether that means 290, 270, same thing I'm saying. Second time in the session, but yeah, I won't divulge much, but yeah, scored enough to ensure a 99. Let's put it that way. Set theory, there was one question, you know, they like to give this. Something like this. They'll give something like this, then they'll put numbers here, numbers here, numbers here, numbers here, numbers here. They'll say triangle means this, square means this, circle means this. So number of students who are only in circle and triangle, and they will say this is X, this is Y, total number is something, and all of that. So basic set theory question, not too difficult. Venn diagram, there was a question on maxima, minima, not easy. This was a difficult question, actually should have been left. Not an easy question. Number based puzzle, you know, very easy. There was a singlet number based puzzle, not too difficult to do. And number matrix, what was the matrix like? You know, they give you numbers. So they'll give some number here, 4, 6, 2, 3, and middle mein what will it be? It will be nothing but the sum, 10, 15. Similarly, they'll give you more, and then they'll tell you the last number mein they've kept a question mark in middle, find out the value of question mark. So those kind of number based matrix questions were also there. So that's about it, okay. In general, what's the expected cutoff marks in total? Rakesh, I'll get there. Just give me a couple of slides and that will be my next slide, okay? Okay, let's look at verbal reasoning. Logical reasoning, under that verbal reasoning, this is the breakup, and this is where the real problem starts. Not easy, not easy, not easy, not easy, not easy. Decision making easy, syllogisms easy, 2 of them, 3 questions easy. The remaining 15 questions tricky. When I say not easy, I mean not easy by NMAT standard. Obviously, probably easy, much easier than say what you'll get in XAT and all of those exams, but not easy by NMAT standard. This is where the entire game changes. And like I said, I spent a lot of time on these because I had nothing to lose. My recommendation, y'all shouldn't go ahead and spend so much time on all of this, okay? If you feel that, it's a tricky statement assumption, statement conclusion, just mark something, mark C or something and move on. Don't worry too much about it, okay? Once again, the OG will really help you here, to go ahead and, get into these questions. Number matrix logic, I've gone ahead, Madhav, and I've already stated it, okay? So statement assumption, course of action, strong weak argument, conclusion, inference. As I stated, the NMAT OG will be a good place to spend some time on this, okay? Some very, very good questions that come here from there as well. And, they'll be almost very, very similar to what you'll get in the actual NMAT exam, okay? Cool. Other than that, yeah, that's about it when it comes to the entire, breakup. Madhav, yes, logic was easy. As I stated, I didn't get a lot of time to do that one particular question. Now, let's look at the cutoffs. So, I will not get too deep into the 2017, 18, 19, 20, cutoffs. I don't know what happened here. Just give me a second. Okay, guys. So if we look at it from an overall perspective, last year the cutoff was about 235 with 76 in every section. This year in 2021 we don't know what will happen, but overall, as I've stated, the paper looks very, very similar. So in verbal ability, perhaps 2 or 3 marks higher seems slightly easier. So I'll say 78 to 82 to be on the safe side. Logical reasoning, as I've been stating, slightly more difficult. Verbal reasoning might be the game changer. There is a possibility that probably slightly lower to 74 to 77 to be on the safe side. Quant, if you're able to maximize DI, then probably it should be safe. But in case you're not able to, hence I'm just giving it as a range from say about 73 to 76. Overall, 232 to 238 is fine. My recommendation, well, aim for a 245 plus, 250 plus, even better, and aim for the upper end of the cutoffs that we've just spoken about. It will just probably hold you in better stead to go ahead and finally convert, not just get a call. Okay, coming to my 15-day strategy. Okay, sir, MBA का result कब आएगा? What MBA का? What is the meaning of MBA का result कब आएगा? I didn't understand that question. MBA का result कब आएगा? Okay, coming to your 15-day strategy, what are the things to go ahead and focus on? Play to your strength is point number 1. Under that, quantitative skill and language skills, the 2 parts to focus on. Number 2, ensure adaptive works for you. I'll get into all of that. Section-wise strategy, attempt order, and finally the last few tips. So this is basically what is remaining in terms of what it is, that I want to go ahead and talk about. Okay. So look here. Now I'm going ahead and stating what is the strategy to go ahead and ensure that you score that 240, 245. Now 235 is not the aim, right? We want 245 above if that's possible. We don't want ourselves limited to around 235 and so on and so forth. So what is it that we should go ahead and do? Well, there are 2 kinds of strategies. Number 1, are you somebody who's more of a quant guy or are you somebody who's more of a verbal guy? If you are more of a quant guy, which means you are more of an analytical guy, what you will need to go ahead and do is you need to focus on quant and you need to focus on the analytical reasoning part of logical reasoning. So these are the 2 sections to focus on. So just imagine if you can focus on these 2 sections and go ahead and get your marks, which is why I'm saying quant slightly lower, because as Hari pointed out, last year also it was slightly more difficult to get marks in this section as compared to the other 2. So say quant you get slightly lower, say around 80 or so. In logical reasoning, try getting much more than the cutoff, be close to about 83. You add both of them, that's about 164, 165. Now, in verbal, even if you get your 76 and so on and so forth around the cutoff, you will still get your call. Ideally, what you should do is verbal is the place where you can go ahead and score. Verbal is not going to be the place where you will find it difficult. So even if you just get close to about 80, 85, I'm not talking about getting 95, 100 and so on and so forth. You get just about, 2 or 3 questions more than the cutoff. You get somewhere around, 84, 85. Overall, if you add it, you're still looking at a score of close to about 249. And that is where you want to be. You want to be 245 plus to be slightly more confident going into your CDPI process, because you don't want to be in a situation where you'll turn around and state, my CDPI went off well, but my score was slightly lower, hence it's slightly tricky. Once again, I'll repeat, even if you score 235, CDPI is going to be the game changer. You can still convert. I'm not saying you can't convert, but the chances will be higher, ever so slightly higher, if you score more. So aim for a 245 plus, don't be satisfied with a 235. So those of you all stating, I'm already looking at writing some of the mocks and I'm scoring 235 or so on and so forth, you need 2-3 more questions. You need to push that by another couple of questions. Sometimes guesswork might also work. So, guesswork is very, very important in the NMAT exam. I've constantly stated that multiple number of times. Look at that particular option which is turning out to be right more often than not in your serious attempts. That is the option you should guess with. That is what will give you some extra marks, because probably in at least one of the 3 sections, maybe in 2 or 3 sections, you might need to guess 2 to 3 questions. That could be a guess of close to 8-9 questions across 3 sections. In those 8-9, if your guesswork works and 3 questions come your way, that's 9 marks. If I'm just looking at it as +30, it's not +30, but 9 marks when normalized under the adaptive scheme will still work for you. So do keep that in mind. Second way of doing it, I'm a verbal guy, hypothetically. Say I'm good at verbal, okay? I am a person who goes ahead and scores well in verbal. So I need to go ahead and maximize language skills and verbal reasoning under the logical reasoning section. Language skills and verbal reasoning under the logical reasoning section. Now language skills, this is the place you want to be. Now even I scored more than this and I'm not a verbal guy, I'm a quant guy. So I scored more than the marks on your screen in both sections here. So there is no reason why you can't score this. If you're a person who's verbal, if you're a person, who's good at it, go ahead and ensure that this is something that you focus on. Verbal reasoning you focus on. Go through the NMAT by GMAC book as I discussed, the OG. You'll get a lot of questions there as well. Between these 2 sections, aim to score about 175 or so. So if you can score about 175 here, then in quant you're just looking at a cutoff, as you said, 75, 76 if you can get there, then 175 plus 75, 76, that's 251, 252. And that's predominantly where you want to be, around 75, 76 here. Okay, so and 250 is once again something that you can end up getting, and that's basically what you want to focus on, 245 plus. So that's predominantly what I'll go ahead and ask you to focus on. Understand what it is you're good at. If you are good at quant and analytical reasoning is where you maximize. If you're good at verbal reasoning and language skills is where you maximize, then start from those sections. You're good at verbal, start with English. Try getting 95 plus there. Try ensuring verbal reasoning works for you. By the time you get into quant, you'll already be upbeat. Yeah, 170, 175 done hai. Even if I just get the cutoff in quant, I'm done. And cutoff anyways you have to get in every section to get there, okay? How many correct questions should we aim for in each section? Well, this is something that, I've already gone ahead and discussed basis your scores. From your perspective, you should still think it's a marking scheme of +30. Forget how they will normalize it under the adaptive scheme. Think of it as +30. So if I want to go ahead and score, say, 85, I am looking at close to about 27, 28 questions which I want to get correct out of 36. That's the way I'd like to do it. But in general, if you're scoring about 25 questions correct in every section, I think you've done a tremendous job, because 75 into 3 will be 225. Normalized, I think it will be close to about 245, 250. So 25 correct questions in every section, 1 or 2 guesswork, also works for you. That should be good enough. So that's predominantly what I would look at, which means you're looking at close to about a 70% accuracy rate. Okay, close to about 70% accuracy rate. Okay. In quant 70 to 75, how many questions would we need to get correct approximately? Well, in order to get about 75, 76, DI is some place where I would like you to focus. Try getting all questions of DI done. Out of the 24 questions of quant, try getting another 12, 13 questions there. So overall, once again, in order to get 75, at least 22, 23 questions is what you should aim for. 66 to 69, when normalized and stuff, should go up to about 75, 76. So 22, 23 at least, Rohan. Okay, I hope that helps, okay? Cool. Second, ensure adaptive works for you. Now this is very, very important, and focus a little bit on this. Now you know how adaptive actually works. An adaptive paper actually takes this into consideration. The first quarter of the section, the first 8-9 questions turn out to be very, very important. Adaptive works in the sense that when you keep getting questions right, your jump right at the beginning from a 0 or 15 or 20 percentile to close to about a 90-95 percentile is very steep. This is a steep jump. So if you can focus and get the first 9-10 questions right in your section, every section, you have a very good chance that even if you start making errors after that, you will not fall much lower than a 90 percentile. And you know 94 is where you get your call. And not to get 94 overall, if you get 90 percentile in all 3 sections, you'll surely get a 94. So basically all that you need is, even if you get 90 to 93 percentile in all 3 sections, you'll be sitting at 96, 97 percentile, which means close to a 245 and so on and so forth. So just keep that in mind. Hence the first few questions become very important, and this is how the chart goes. From the very, look at the second question, correct? You already hit 10, you start hitting 20, you start hitting 40, start hitting 60, and suddenly by the time your 8th question is done, you start hitting 80 percentile, and now you'll get questions in and around this range. If you fall a lot, then there'll be a problem, but generally in order to fall a lot, you'll need to get 8-10 questions wrong back to back, which generally won't happen. So this is where you need to go ahead and maximize, which is the first 9-10 questions. Let's look at a graph to understand what I'm stating. Look at this comparison of the 4 parts of a section, 9 questions each. Look at these first 9 questions. They will take you from somewhere around a 0 to 90 percentile in 8-9 questions. Whereas the next part, even if you're starting here at somewhere around 35-40 percentile, and you get, out of the next 8-9 questions, you get about 6 right and just 2 or 3 wrong, you will just move from a 40 percentile to a 60 percentile. That's about it. Most of the jump comes in the first quarter, comes in the first few questions that come up. So ensure that you go ahead and you focus on that, okay? The first 8-10 questions of every section, very, very important. That is something that you should keep in your mind. Some of you are asking, how to get that percentile, this and that, focus here, okay? Sir, where can I practice mocks for NMAT? So you can check the Byju's exam prep, you can go ahead and take mocks there. You can also try out the, some of the mocks given on the official website, and the OG will also have a couple of mocks. You can look at that as well. Okay. Keshav is asking, so sir, if I have a very hard RC as the first question, should I attempt it? See, in general, the meaning of an adaptive paper means that the questions don't start off very difficult. The questions start off easily. That is what adaptive means. And what I've heard from, Pranav and Vikas writing it at the center, I wrote it at home. The verbal section did not start with RCs. It started with fill in the blanks. It started with, spot the error. And the first 9-10 questions were only these. And they are the easy ones. You can answer these 9-10 questions in a matter of 5 minutes. And if you get all of them right, by the time you reach RCs, you're already at a 75-80 percentile. That's where you need to focus. Okay? OG's official guide, the actual NMAT, NMAT by GMAC official guide, that's the OG. So when you apply for the exam, you can get access to that. Okay? Cool. Okay. Let's move to the section-wise strategy, what it is that you should do. Let's start off with the very first section, which is quant. Now, this was the breakup that I told you about. The focus is once again here and here. So, whatever you're doing for CAT, till now you've been prepping for CAT like crazy, right? Think of level 1 CAT. Think of just level 1, which means easy CAT questions here in this segment. And arithmetic plus algebra plus data interpretation is about 24 marks. If you can couple it with a couple of questions from set theory, Venn diagrams and stuff like that, that's 26, 28 questions that you'll be able to handle. If you get a large chunk of questions correct here, you're good to go. Okay, so this is where you need to focus. You need to go ahead and focus on arithmetic, algebra, data interpretation again. DS, once again, look at this. This is algebra, this is arithmetic. So 2 questions of DS are also that. So actually, when you're doing arithmetic plus algebra, all data interpretation will be arithmetic. So arithmetic plus algebra will give you arithmetic, algebra, data interpretation, half of DS. You combine all of that, that's about 26, 27 questions. Little bit of set theory you add, you're almost hitting 30 questions. Forget geometry, don't waste time on it. Forget trigonometry, don't waste time on it. I don't think a lot of questions will come. Even if you get 1 or 2 questions, not worth spending so much time preparing on mensuration and geometry just for a couple of questions. Okay? Except modern math, all other questions were under a minute kind of questions, right sir? Yes, Vicky. All very easy. Obviously, there'll be 2 or 3 questions here and there depending upon how you are answering. If you are answering very, very well, some difficult questions will come in. Like I said, modern math, a few difficult questions did come in, a couple of tricky questions even in set theory. But that is predominantly because, somebody would have gone ahead and answered a lot of questions right up front very easily. So adaptive takes you to that particular level. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. I'm already scoring around 200, 210 in mock. Should I reschedule? So it depends upon when it is that you've gone ahead and scheduled your exam. My recommendation, the first attempt is the only attempt for NMIMS Mumbai. If you're currently scoring only around 200, 210, you need a jump of at least 30 marks. You know, maybe even 40 marks to be very, very comfortable. From 200 to 235 is like 35 marks. From 210, you might want to go to 240, 245. That's 35 marks. So 35 to 40 marks is what you want. My recommendation, take some time. Don't jump into writing the exam in the next 7-10 days. Give yourself at least 2.5 weeks. Don't take it on 23rd is my recommendation. Obviously, I will not force anything, but I think that's too early. That's just 1 week away. Expecting yourself to jump from 210 or 200 to about 235, which is about 30 marks, which is about at least 7-8 questions in a matter of a week. I don't think that's easy. In the 60 days to CAT segment, we spoke about increasing your marks by 2 questions in every section over 2 months. Here you are saying in a week. I don't think that will be easy, okay? So my recommendation, take a little bit more time, okay? So do that, okay? Then I'm getting 197 to 213, exactly the same, Priyank, 9th November looks good, right? 9th November would mean today we are sitting on what? We're on 15th or 16th, right? So that means what? You have close to about 23 days, 22, 23 days, almost 3 weeks, a little more than that. That should be good enough, right? In 3 weeks, you should expect yourself to improve by about 6-7 questions. Okay, let's move to, quantitative, few things to keep in mind. 1, there seems to be no geometry, very, very important. Number 2, if a DI set looks difficult, guess the questions, move on. And guesswork should be those options which you are getting to be right more often than not across the questions where you've taken a very serious attempt. So if you're getting C in most answers, in most questions, guess C. Just keep that in mind. Okay, let's move to the next section, which is language skills. My recommendation, I've already gone ahead and stated, grammar, 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 grammar. The section or the segment which is going to ensure that you go ahead and crack this paper is grammar. Because spot the error, grammar, fill in the blanks, at least half of them or more than half of them grammar. 8, 9 simple questions grammar, and most of them come in the first 9-10 questions. You ace that, you've already hit 75-80 percentile. And from there, you are not going to fall deep below. So grammar, focus on grammar. Renan Martin, you know, that's a Bible, Gita, Quran, I don't know what you want to call it whatever. It's the holy book for English. Go to Renan Martin, spend time there. Solve questions there, focus on prepositions, focus on different types of grammar. You don't need to know the technical names, but this is what will get you through. Grammar, okay? Cool. Language skills, level of difficulty, easy to moderate. As I said, not a very difficult section. In fact, none of the sections were difficult. It's an easy section. Grammar is what you need to focus on. Seriously attempting all 3 RCs might be difficult. I already stated this right up front. There'll be 12 questions, max you want to give is about 15 minutes. You might not be able to do all 3 RCs then. Imagine taking 3.5 minutes to read a passage, 3 minutes to solve questions, 4 questions. That's about 6.5 minutes per passage. So 2 passages, 13 minutes. The last passage you'll have 2.5 minutes. So you might not be able to do all 3 very seriously. Don't worry, doesn't matter. It's okay. Chill marna hai, tension nahi lena. Okay? Okay. RC is too lengthy, leave it. Which is what I am stating. These 2 are interlinked. 1 RC seems too lengthy, 1 RC you feel can't do it, leave. At least 1 RC you can leave. Guess all C. Even if 1 turns out to be right, you are okay. Don't worry too much, okay? Grammar. I've already stated this. That's it. Grammar, grammar, grammar. That's what will get you through. Okay, let's move to reasoning. Analytical reasoning, we've already gone ahead and discussed this enough. Analytical reasoning, you don't worry too much. Input output is the only thing to worry about. And input output, once again, you'll get in the OG. Everything else you don't need to worry. Whatever you prep for CAT, this is level 1 of that. Input output, you'll get in the OG. Okay, go ahead and spend some time there. Okay, that's okay. If you're already scoring, guys, if you're in the range of about 225, 230, your exam in say 2 weeks time, in 2 weeks, you should be able to increase your score by about 3-4 questions, right? So 225 should move to about 240. 3 questions is 9 marks. When scaled, it should be 12, 13, 14 marks. 226 plus 13 is 239, around 240. So my recommendation, you might not necessarily need to reschedule, but it's your call. Don't go by me. It's about your confidence. Are you confident enough or not? Okay? So decide basis that. Okay. As I said, you know, number matrix questions I've already discussed. Very simple. The logic is sum and product. That's all that they are dealing with. Nothing else. Okay. Last part, which is verbal reasoning, OG. This, according to me, is OG. If you can solve all questions of the OG, which is the official guide of NMAT by GMAC, this should not be very difficult. More or less along the same lines. Okay, all the questions. So it should not be too difficult. I hope that helps. Okay, well, logical reasoning, LR sets might come at the end, came for me. So don't bank on them. Don't think that, you know, that is all that you need to go ahead and do. Because they're saying in OG there is very easy input-output question as compared to mocks. Great, right? So where did I state that the NMAT input-output was very difficult? I in fact told you that one was an absolute cakewalk. Mocks, we make it slightly more difficult. Why? In order to go ahead and ensure that you build up the appetite to face if a difficult question comes up. If in the OG it's already easy, OG plus mock should be the ideal combination, right, for you. So there's nothing to worry about at all. And I'll once again repeat, at least one of the input-output questions in the NMAT paper, absolute cakewalk. As simple as number of letters in the word ke basis mein you're prioritizing. That's it. It wasn't difficult at all. One, slightly difficult in terms of step 2 to step 3, kya change ho raha hai, but net kya ho raha hai, I explained both the input-output sets to you. Neither of them might have sounded very difficult to you. So there is no such saying that it will be difficult or it is easy and so on and so forth. I think people go in with paranoia. There is this set thing that input-output it has to be difficult. It's almost like cat hai to difficult hoga, ZAT hai to difficult hoga. Nahi yaar. ZAT has been a cakewalk over the last 2 years. CAT probably last year slightly tricky. Otherwise, CAT also hasn't been as difficult as, say, the era of when it used to be a paper pen exam. So don't buy into the paranoia. This paranoia of this is a difficult exam, this is a difficult question type and all, just don't buy into it. Easy hai, tension nahi lena. Okay? Cool. Okay. Verbal reasoning seems to be the game changer. As I've already pointed out, that's where the focus needs to be. Final part, you know, attempt order. What should be attempt order? I've already gone ahead and discussed this. There are 6 different attempt sequences for you. The way the attempt sequence I took, I went by this. Why? Because I feel that, language is something that probably I'll be weaker at. Quant is something that I'm better at. So I wanted to start with the quant segment. I started with logical reasoning. Why? Because that is the best time to go ahead and do verbal reasoning. Verbal reasoning, when you're slightly tired and slightly drained, it becomes slightly difficult to handle. Hence, I wanted to ensure that I started with logical reasoning, then quant. Quant is palliative. 52 minutes, 36 questions. You know, it's easy to get into it. It gives you a couple of minutes to relax. There is no flurry of question. Bang, 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 bang. Nahin, not like verbal. So that's why I like to keep quant in the middle, but that's my take. Your take, you can go by whatever you feel comfortable. Okay? Perfect. Okay, finally, my last few tips or few things to keep in mind. Please go ahead and keep this. Choose the order of attempting sections on your own. Try it now. Try it for 2-3 mocks. Mocks are available on the official website as well. They'll be in the OG as well. They're on the Byju's exam prep app as well. Take them. Look at whatever you want in 75-day test window. So only the first attempt is being considered by NMIMS. Don't jump into your first attempt. Don't be desperate to take your first attempt ASAP. Only the first attempt is going to be accepted by NMIMS. Take your time. No penalty for wrongly marked questions, so guess. Guess, very important. Verbal reasoning will be the game changer. This is the game changer. No navigation between section, no navigation between questions. Please keep that in mind as well. Have to attempt the question before moving on. Please keep that in mind. If you don't attempt the question, you can't move on. Divide the syllabus into strong and weak. Strong is where you focus on. Okay? Strong is where you focus on. Revise fundamentals. As I stated, you've already seen geometry might not be important. So don't focus on areas which are not, which are either your areas of weaknesses or from where there are not a lot of questions coming. Take mocks and analyze your performance. And finally, refer to the OG. I will repeat that. According to me, the OG is a very good OG. Also, Wren and Martin for grammar. Wren and Martin OG, that's predominantly it. A couple of questions which I see. So which all university should I select other than NMIMS while registering? If you ask me, the order would be, NM Mumbai, followed by Bangalore, followed by Hyderabad, followed by Navi Mumbai, then Indore. There is I think XIMB Rural Management and HR is accepting, do that. SPGen is doing it for a particular course, you might want to look at that. So these might be some of the ones that you might look at, okay? How much marks is deductive if we aren't able to attempt all? So Keshav, how many marks are deductive, nobody knows, but in an adaptive test, we are not able to answer everything, there is some sort of a penalty, okay? So my recommendation, don't leave anything, at least answer. Answering pe 0 and not answering is worse than not guessing. So do answer, okay? Cool, that's about it from my end, guys. Quite an in-depth session. I thought it will take about an hour. We've taken about almost 75 to 80 minutes. Hopefully I've gone ahead and was able to answer all of it. Yeah, my recommendation, aim for a 245 plus, and within that 245 plus, verbal is where you should maximize. My recommendation, look at 85 plus in verbal, look at 75, 76 plus in quant, and look at about 78 plus in LRDI. That would generally be the breakup that I would want to look at. With at least one or two of those sections, you go ahead and maximize, okay? Will NM Bangalore accept second or third? Please go ahead and check what they've got ahead and stated, okay? Whether NM Bangalore, Bombay has categorically stated no. Bangalore and Hyderabad, do go ahead and have a look at it, okay? How much, sir, how much other two sir scored apart from you? Okay, all the others, all three of us, all are 250 plus, okay? खुश हम जो बोल रहे हैं वो मान लोगे अब? मतलब you all are more interested in how much we score. You should be interested in what you can score. हमारे स्कोर पे इतना क्यों जाते हो? How does that matter so much? If it is from the perspective of अच्छा ये लोग जो बोल रहे हैं, does it make sense or not? Yes, I hope you feel confident enough that what I've stated made sense. So Vicky is saying, okay, great insights. Hopefully we'll implement. All the best, Vicky. Madhav, thanks. Okay, all the best to you as well. Hopefully it helped you all, guys. Siddharth, go ahead and look at it from the OG. Look at it. Look at the mocks online as well. So hopefully this helped. All the best to all of you all, guys. That's it from our end. Bye bye. Ciao. See you.